Alright, hey guys, it's Orcust CCG back in the video. This is you guys an Orcust Horror's deck profile, and this is post January 2024 ban list. So I wanted to show you guys a one card combo first that just kind of gives you an idea of what Harp Horror is able to do, just because it's been out of the game for a little bit. I think it's a good one card combo that you probably have seen. If not, then this is a good chance for you to see it and to remember it, because it's a simple standard one card combo. So you're gonna normal summon yugioh here, pitch the Harp Horror, get yourself a token, then use the Harp Horror here in order to summon out your Orcust Nightmare. Then you're gonna want to convert this token into your Linkuriboh. I've seen a few people not turning it into a Linkuriboh. In order to summon out your Link to Galatea, you're actually gonna need 2 effect monsters, so you wouldn't be able to accomplish this with the token itself. You have to make sure that you're gonna turn it into a Linkuriboh beforehand. Then we're gonna pitch ourselves our symbol skeleton here, get ourselves our Dingirsu, then use Dingirsu's effect here to attach one of our banished cards back to the grave. So this is a great way of controlling what is back into the grave and how we're going to be able to activate it during our opponent's turn. We're going to use symbol skeleton here, bring out our Galatea. So you see we haven't used Galatea's effect yet, and this is our chance to use it. So we're going to be using it right here in order to get ourselves the field spell Orchestrated Babel, and this is what's going to allow us to use our Orcust monsters effects that are in the grave or the link monsters during our opponent's turn. So it's really powerful, as it just essentially turns it into quick effects. Now here we're going to use Harp Horror's effect in order to get Orcust Nightmare on the board. Then we can link away, go into SP Little Knight. So obviously you're going to determine yourself, like depending on what's happening in the game, what effect you need at the moment, but just know as soon as you go into SP Little Knight, you're going to be using this in order to banish something. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going to be targeting whatever's there. Then I pitched the Symbol Skeleton, so I can use Symbol Skeleton's effect here in order to get myself back the Dingirsu. Then I can use my Galatea in order to get Orcust Crescendo here, and you can just change whatever you really need for this, whatever spell or trap you decide is relevant for the next turn, then you can search that out. Then we're going to get ourselves our Dingirsu here, attach another banished card, and then we could just pitch our 2 Link 2s to go into a Link 4. So in this case I decided to go into Access Go Talker just to show you that that's a beater they can get out. And you're here with a pretty simple setup, but you do have Dingirsu and you have the Orchestrated Crescendo. So obviously you do need a Link monster to be able to activate this, so just know that before you go into something like Access Go Talker. But you could use it to set up your board and then continue your plays however you'd like. This is the one card combo that I think you guys should know if you haven't seen it yet. Then it's good for you guys to learn it before we go to the deck profile. But now we're going to move on to the deck profile. Okay guys, so this is the actual deck profile that I have for you. So we're going to get started. I run 3 copies of Nibiru. This is just going to be the hand trap of choice. Of course, with any of these hand traps, you can choose to change them depending on how the meta evolves. But for now, I'm running 3 Nibiru. 3 copies of Imseti, Glory of Horus. So this card's great because you're actually going to be able to discard a card, not only search out your King Sarcophagus, but get another draw out. So this can be nice in case you need a Orcust monster in the grave, you can utilize that. You just want to be careful that when you're using the Horus monsters, you try to like summon them all out before you lock yourself into your dark monsters, because there's a lot of Orcust monsters that are going to be locking you in, and you do have something like Protection of Horus here or Happy that are just going to be locking themselves. They're going to be locked out by the Orcust monster, so you just want to make sure you're able to utilize that. And then with that, we run 1 copy of each other Horus monster here, just as another way of getting out a level 8 monster. Makes it really easy to go into your rank 8s. And then I run 1 copy of the World Legacy World 1. This card is great because you can banish this card from your grave and target one of your banished Orcust monsters and special summon it. So it just gives you the ability to extend your combos quite a bit. Then I run 3 copies of Orcust Nightmare. This card's great because not only is it going to give you the ability to send a Dark Machine monster from your deck to your grave, which is pretty powerful for Orcust, but it'll give you a little bit of an attack boost as well. So that can be nice when you need it. Then the 3 copies of Yugioh here. Yugioh, you saw with the 1 card combo, it's a pretty essential card as it's going to let you just easily pitch a Orcust monster. So being able to utilize that is powerful. And if you end up playing this with the Bestial engine, which I might consider running a different build for it if you guys are curious to see that, then you can utilize this as a low 4 tuner, and it can make it pretty easy to go into something like Bear in the Floor. You just have to be careful on what, like, the order you get things out. Then I run 1 copy of Dark Refer. So Dark Refer and Armageddon Knight are going to be your ways of like extending your plays of being able to pitch some cards. So for instance, Dark Refer here, you can discard a low 5 or higher dark monster in order to discard another in order to get it out. And then you can discard a dark monster to send a dark monster in your deck to your grave. So just another way of pitching some dark monsters into grave. So obviously the Orcust monsters are going to be targets, but you do have things that you're able to pit outside of our Orcust monsters here in order to summon out Dark Refer. So we can use Glory of Hope is here, or you can use the World Legacy World 1 as well. And then the Armageddon Knight summon, Foolish Burial, pretty reliable. So that's why I like running both of them here. Then 1 copy of the Orcust Harp Horror. So Orcust Harp Horror here, you saw it enables a 1-card combo, and now you can use this card. It's just very simple to use. You can banish from the grave, so summon an Orcust monster from your deck. So very easy to continue a play from there. Even being able to use something like Mseti here in order to pitch it to get out your Gold Sarcophagus can mean that you can play out your plays with the Horus monsters, and then you can use Orcust Harp Horror's effect. Because his effect doesn't trigger the moment he sends to the grave, you can choose when to activate it when he's in the grave, so that gives you a little bit of space there. Then 2 copies of Orcust Symbol Skeleton, because you can banish this in order to special summon out one of your Orcust monsters that are in your grave. Very reliable, just get something out, be able to extend, and you saw with the combos, you can use this as a great way of getting out Dingirsu as well. Then we have 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 3 copies of Joel and Lockbird, 2 copies of Triple Attack Talent. These are just flex spots that you can really play around if you want to, just with whatever hand traps or sort of like going second cards you want to be running here. And then 1 copy of Orchestrated Return. This card, send 1 Orcust or Legacy monster from your hand or face up field to the grave, draw 2 cards. So that's pretty powerful, being able to just discard anything you'd want. Sometimes you just need something in the grave, so being able to do that and draw 2 is nice, but you don't want to see it all the time, so it's just good to have it as a one of. Rhoda here, just because you're going to be able to search out your Dark Refer or your Armageddon Knight. Foolish Burial, for the same reason we run these 2 guys. Caught by the Grave, Hand Trap, the King Sarcophagus. It just works really well. It makes it very easy to get out level 8 monsters as well, so you just want to be running 2 of those. 1 copy of Babel, because Babel is searchable and it'll give your Orcust monsters quick effects. 3 copies of Imperm, just another hand trap, and then 1 copy of Orcust Crescendo, just because this is a spell trap monster negate that is searchable. Alright guys, before I go to the extra deck, if you guys are enjoying the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and consider joining. It helps the channel out quite a bit, and it'll give you the ability to influence the type of content I create as well. So here we're going to get started. I run 1 copy of Zeus because we have a few XCs, 1 copy of the Zombie Vampire. This card gives you the ability to mill some monsters, and you just want to be able to potentially see some Orcust monsters in the grave, or maybe a Horus monster or 2 in the grave, just so that you can use King Sarcophagus, bring them back out while using their effects, but because you can have King Sarcophagus out, you're going to be able to get them out. And then from there, you can also special summon using this card. So just provides a lot of value for this deck, and it's relatively easy to get out. 1 copy of Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy, just because this is a spell negate. It can create some interesting interactions if you set something up like our Hope Harbinger number 38 here, and then you can set up something like number 90 here for the monster negate as well. So you can create a bit of a lock. And then 2 copies of Dingirsu here. This card is pretty powerful just because when it's on summon, you can send 1 card your opponent controls to the grave. You can see there's not a target, so it's a clear way of just removing something that can be pretty problematic. It's also not destructive as well. And then you can also attach 1 of your banished machine monsters to this card as material. This is a good way of getting your banished cards back in circulation as well. So for instance, if your 1 copy of Harp Horror is banished, then you can use this to put it back on it and then do something with your Dingirsu, and you can have Harp Horror back in your grave. Then 1 copy of Vaxisco Talker, as you saw in the 1 card combo, you can get this out pretty easily, and it's just a beater. 1 copy of Appaloosa, just another monster you can get out, set up a few negates. 1 copy of Lingirsu. So Lingirsu here gives you a way to deal with your opponent's link monsters while also recycling your banished cards. Then we have 1 copy of Dark, in case your opponent is also running Dark, being able to utilize Dark monsters, you're going to be able to utilize them and link climb using it. 2 copies of Galatea. Galatea here is pretty powerful as a spell trap search, and of course using something like the field spell here will mean that you're going to be able to get more value out of this card as you continue as it continues to stay alive. Then 1 copy of SP Little Knight. This card, you're going to be able to summon this out pretty easily, and then doing so would just mean that you're going to be able to banish something. Not only banish on summon, but banish something temporarily. So it's just a card that provides a lot of value. IP Masquerena gives you the ability to link summon during your opponent's turn, and then Link Rebo gives you the ability to utilize the tokens that you get out using Gearsu here. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.